8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news is Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Party leaders given the deadline to submit proposals and suggestions on the 13th A Amendment. India grants 450 million Indian rupees in advance for Sri Lanka's unique digital identity project. Preschool education will be streamlined and upgraded. Love Gas has also decided to keep the prices unchanged. The University of Waimbur gets a new chancellor. Committee appointed to report on drugs and underworld activities. In news overseas, Ukraine sources say Russian ship hit in Novorossiysk Black Sea drone attack. And in sports news, it's soccer. Chelsea signs French international Disasi for £38.5 million. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. Minister Susil Premachandra insisted that the preschool education should be streamlined and upgraded. Around 20,000 preschools are operating in this country. Most of the preschool teachers are not trained properly. Therefore, the ministry will focus its attention in improving the soft skills of preschool teachers. Minister Susil Premachandra also said effective measures will be taken to reduce the burden on the students in terms of study materials. The primary education will be further upgraded to suit the present environment. An effective mechanism will be formulated in this regard, the ministry added. The minister made these remarks at a function held at the Bombirian National School today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has appointed the founder of the Sanasa movement, Dr. P.A. Kirivandeniya, for the post of Chancellor of the University of Waimbur of Sri Lanka for a period of 5 years with immediate effect, the President's media said. All political party leaders have been asked to submit their proposals and suggestions about the 13th Amendment to the Constitution on or before the 15th of August, the President's Media Division says. Presidential Secretary Saman Ekanayake has communicated this to the political party leaders in writing. The all-party conference convened on the 26th of July. President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored the importance of discussing the 13th Constitutional Amendment with all parties as it is a matter that affects the entire country. He also highlighted that a decision on this matter should be involved to put input from all relevant parties. The conference has been organized to update the Parliament's party leaders on the National Reconciliation Programme and the North East Development Plan. The Indo-Sri Lanka Joint Project Monitoring Committee has taken a decisive step towards the implementation of the Sri Lanka Unique Digital Identity, a crucial milestone in the country's digitization drive, the President's Media Division reported. During a meeting at the Presidential Secretary today, key stakeholders, including Presidential Advisor on National Security and Chief of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayake, State Minister of Technology Kanaka Herath, Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle, the First Secretary of the India High Commission Eldos Matthew, Secretary to the Minister of Technology Professor M.D. Gunawardana, Secretary to the Minister of Public Security Vyani Gunatilaka, and Additional Secretary to the Presidential Secretariat Dr. Sulakshana Jayawardena engaged in extensive discussions on this project's execution. During the meeting, it was reported that tenders related to SLUDI project has been received and were currently under review, adhering to a meticulous timeline. Signifying the Indian government's commitment to the initiative, the Indian High Commissioner handed over a significant contribution of 450 million Indian rupees to Minister Kanaka Herath, constituting 15% of the total funds required for the successful implementation of the project as an advance payment, it added. In his directive, Sagala Ratnayake emphasized the paramount importance of adhering to a well-defined timeline to ensure the project's seamless execution. He further advised convening regular weekly meetings to monitor and evaluate the progress, the PMD said in a statement. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. A committee headed by Deshabandhu Thenakon, Senior Deputy Inspector General of the Western Province, has been appointed by the Inspector General of Police to investigate into and report on the measures that can be implemented to combat narcotic drugs and underworld activities. The committee was appointed under the guidance of Public Security Minister Tiran Alas. The committee comprises of Senior DIG KP M. Gunaratne from the Northern Province, Senior DIG Sanjeeva Madhavatne from the Southern Province, STF Commandant DIG Varna Jayasundara, CID DIG SP Ranasinghe, Police Narcotics Bureau DIG Oshan Hema Vitarana, Special Bureau DIG TCA Dhanapala, and Colombo Crimes Division Director N. Silva. The committee will be responsible for assessing the current situation and proposing effective strategies to address the drug menace and underworld activities. Their findings will be submitted to both the police headquarters and the Ministry of Public Security. The Love Gas PLC has also decided not to revise the prices of domestic liquefied petroleum gas cylinders. This was assured by the Group Chief Executive Officer of the company, Niroshan J. Piris, while joining a press conference held today. This means that the 12.5 kilogram domestic cylinder gas will be sold at 3,690 rupees and a cylinder of gas weighing 5 kilo at 1,476 in the month of August as well. Similarly, earlier today, the Litro Gas Company announced that the prices of liquefied petroleum gas cylinders will not be increased today despite the price hike in the world market. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Party leaders give a deadline to submit proposals and suggestions on the 13th Amendment. India grants 450 million Indian rupees in advance for Sri Lanka's unique digital identity project. Preschool education will be streamlined and upgraded. Lav's Gas has also decided to keep the prices unchanged. The University of Viber gets a new chancellor. Committee appointed to report on drug and underworld activities. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatma.
The main news story for tonight, Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Limited today said flying kites within a radius of 5 kilometers from any airport was illegal and a punishable offence and requested the people to refrain from such acts. In a statement, it said flying kites within 5 kilometers from an airport could damage the wings and other parts of the planes and even cause plane crashes. The statement further said that flying kites in an area close to the 14 airports in Sri Lanka has been restricted. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatma.
And in Washington tonight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board yesterday said that water tariffs will be revised from today. According to the NSWDB resources, the water tariff will be increased by more than 30%. The relevant Gazette notification relating to the new price hike was issued. The General Manager of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board mentioned that the water tariffs are increased by around 30 to 50% depending on the monthly usage with effect from yesterday. That came to you in Watchlight, and now let's move on to the headlines of the world news. Alexei Navalny, Russian opposition leader, handed a further 19-year jail term. Rahul Gandhi, India's Supreme Court, suspends opposition leader's conviction. Russian ship hit in Novorossiysk, Black Sea drone attack, Ukraine sources say. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. The jailed Russian opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, has been handed over a further 19-year jail term at a trial in a remote penal colony. Mr. Navalny was found guilty of founding and funding an extremist organization and activities. He denies the charges. He is already serving a 9-year term for parole violations, fraud and contempt of court. The charges are widely viewed as politically motivated. Since his jailing in the year 2021, Mr. Navalny has been held at a remote penal colony. India's Supreme Court has suspended opposition leader Rahul Gandhi's conviction in a criminal defamation case. The Congress leader was sentenced to 2 years in jail in March for his 2019 comments about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's surname at an election rally. Mr. Gandhi was disqualified as an MP following his sentencing. Friday's court ruling paves the way for him to return to Parliament and contest the general elections next year. A Russian naval ship has been damaged in a Ukrainian naval drone attack in the Black Sea, Ukrainian sources say. The assault reportedly occurred near the Russian port of Novorossiysk, which is a major hub for Russian exports. Russia's defense ministry said that it had repelled a Ukrainian attack on its naval base, which involved 2 sea drones but did not admit any damage. And that was the world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Vacancies for women from Desha, Sri Lanka for housemaids in Kuwait, Oman and Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 58 years. Contact number 037 7500 500.
In development news, 10 entrepreneurs who received intensive help from the United States Agency for International Development, that's USAID, and Good Life X Business Accelerator to develop their climate adaptation ideas displayed their results at a demo day held on the 2nd of August. This demo day marked the end of an 8-month program to help early-stage businesses grow into scalable and sustainable enterprises that can enhance the climate resilience of agriculture, fisheries and tourism's associated livelihoods in Sri Lanka. That was the development news.
Vacancies for women from Desha, Sri Lanka for housekeepers, home cooks, caretakers and home nurses in Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia and Singapore for ages 23 to 57 years. Salaries starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews with foreign agents are now on. Come whether you have a passport or not. Branches, Colombo, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura and Mathura. Contact number 037 500 500.
Moving on to sports news, it's soccer. French international defender Axel Disasi has joined Chelsea from Monaco on a 6-year contract for 45 million euros. Disasi, aged 25, offers defensive covers at Stamford Bridge after Wesley Fofana sustained a serious knee injury. He played in all 38 of Monaco's League One games last season. That is the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekakiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set penna as wahagena dagapuina habe karana youth ekata niyameta set penna friendship ekamenna.
The all new NSB Itru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Air Arabia Abu Dhabi received the Foreign Air Operator Certificate yesterday from the Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka after satisfying the necessary technical and operational requirements in line with the government policy to offer more pathways for foreign airlines to operate flights into Sri Lanka. The airline will operate flights from September. That is the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set penna as wahagena dagapuina habe karana youth ekata niyameta set penna friendship ekamenna.
The all new NSB Itru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, Sri Lanka has made a historic turnaround with regard to inflation levels from maintaining the highest in Asia, that was around 70% a year ago, to being the lowest in the region in just 1 year. The central bank predicts that the inflation rate in Sri Lanka from the current 6.2% will move to even lower level at around 1% for a brief period and stabilize around 4%. Currently, Bangladesh's inflation stands as the highest at 8%, followed by Nepal at 6.8%, India at 6.7%, Afghanistan around 6%, according to the available data, and the Maldives at 4.4%. That is economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Weather report.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of light showers will occur in the western and Saparagama provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. Party leaders given a deadline to submit proposals and suggestions on the 13th A. India grants 450 million Indian rupees in advance for Sri Lanka's unique digital identity project. Preschool education will be streamlined and upgraded. Love's Gas has also decided to keep the prices unchanged. The University of Weimar gets a new chancellor. A committee appointed to report on drugs and underworld activities. In news overseas, Ukraine sources say Russian ship hit in Novorossiysk Black Sea drone attack. And in sports news, it's soccer. Chelsea signs French international Disasi for £38.5 million. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.